This week we're going to learn about Adam and Eve. Who tricked Adam and Eve into eating the apples? Do we know? The serpent or the snake. So this week we're going to make a snake out of paper. This is my snake. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the story. After God rested on the seventh day, he went down to earth and decided to make the most beautiful garden. He named it the Garden of Eden. The garden was filled with wonderful flowers and trees, and it had thousands of animals and birds running around. He created the first man out of clay, breathed life into him, and called him Adam. God then told him, "Now listen, Adam, you can climb the trees, eat the fruits, jump over the bushes, and paddle in the river, but there is one thing you must never do. Never eat the apples from the large tree at the center of the garden." Soon God realized that Adam was lonely, as he was the only one of his kind. So he used one of Adam's ribs to create a wonderful wife for him, the first woman, whom he called Eve. Adam and Eve were very happy. They lived in a beautiful life in the Garden of Eden. They had animals to talk to and various trees to eat fruit from. God had asked them to eat fruits from the tree of life, but never from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. One day, while they were walking along the center of the garden, there was a beautiful apple hanging on the forbidden tree. A snake was also resting on that tree, and he said, "Why don't the two of you eat this apple? It is the biggest, nicest, and juiciest apple I have ever seen." Adam was worried and informed the snake that God had told them never to eat anything from that tree. The snake tried to brush away their fears and worries by saying that they had nothing to worry about, and encouraged them to take a bite. He even said that they would gain God's wisdom by eating the fruits of this tree. Eve believed the snake's lies and looked at the juicy apple. She plucked the apple from the tree and took a bite. As the fruit was delicious, she insisted Adam take a bite. Initially, Adam refused to do so, but when he was convinced that Eve did not die because of eating the fruit, he took a bite too. Suddenly they realized that they were naked. They covered their bodies with leaves from the trees. All this happened on the day God visited the garden, and when they heard him coming their way, they felt bad for disobeying him. God knew of their wrong deed and was angry and disappointed with them. After talking to Adam and Eve, God gave them better clothes than the fig leaves that they had been wearing, and asked why they had disobeyed him. Adam told God that he ate the fruit on Eve's insistence, and Eve brushed it off on the snake, but both had disobeyed God. God punished Adam and Eve by banishing them from the Garden of Eden, and they had to live the rest of their lives outside of paradise. So that story doesn't really have that happy of an ending, does it? What do you think we should have learned from that story? We should have learned that it's important to obey God. It's important for us to pray and try to listen to what God has to tell us. Who else should we be listening to in our lives? Our parents, our teachers, and any other adults that we should listen to and follow their directions. So we're going to start working on our snake. So here's my snake again. So you're going to take your 2 colors of construction paper. You can use whatever colors you want. I have yellow and purple. We're going to stack them on top of each other. Nice and neatly. And then we're going to cut them into strips. Your strip should be at least 1 inch long, probably about 1.5 inches. They all don't have to be perfectly even. I cut it into strips. Once you have your paper cut into strips, you're going to start by picking 1 piece of construction paper, and you're going to fold it so it makes a circle. And then you're going to take a piece of your tape and put it on there so it stays as a circle. Then you're going to take your other color construction paper, and you're going to put that through the circle. Sometimes they might come on tape, just be careful. And then you're going to do the same thing to this next one. You're going to put a piece of tape to complete that circle. Then you're going to take your other color, do it again. You can make your snake as long as you want. You can use as many rings or as few rings as you want. So here's another yellow one. With another piece of tape. And then a purple one. And then another yellow one. I want to make my snake not too long, but not too short. And another piece of tape onto that yellow one. And then one for the purple one. And then a yellow one. What else have you used paper chains for? Have you ever used a paper chain to decorate anything? Sometimes they can be used to decorate for birthday parties. I've even seen them on Christmas trees. You can use paper rings to decorate anything you want. So I'm almost out of paper strips, so I'm going to go ahead and use all of my strips. So I have one more purple one and one more yellow one. So here's my snake's whole long body with all my yellow and my purple strips made into rings. Once I've made my snake, I'm going to tape his tongue, which is your piece of ribbon on there. I'm going to bend it so it sticks out a little bit more. So there's his tongue. And then I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to put some eyes on him. I'm going to put a little bit of a smile to go with his tongue. So here's what my snake looks like. So he's got his tongue, he's got his eyes, he got his nice smile, and then we have his whole body. So that's our craft for this week. So, was the snake a good guy in the story? No, the snake tricked Adam and Eve into disobeying God. Have there ever been things that tricked you into being bad in your life? I'm sure there are. I'm sure you've maybe had some friends that have made suggestions that maybe you shouldn't do, that maybe will get you in trouble. So there's things that will trick us in our lives into being bad and disobeying God and disobeying our parents and disobeying our teachers. It's just important for us to sit and think sometimes about whether things are a good idea or not. Usually you can kind of decide whether something's a good idea or whether it's not a good idea. So the snake can serve as a reminder of this story, so you can put it up somewhere where you can see. So that's all I have for you this week. I hope to see you in Sunday school on Sunday. Have a good week. Bye!